This is a quick video to talk about if you've got the Flymo 1200R robotic lawnmower, and when it comes to strimming, and people have raised some concerns or questions if strimming is going to damage or potentially cut the boundary wire. So I just thought I'd clarify that for you. Okay, I apologise for the wind. It's really windy out here. Hopefully the mic wind protector helps a little bit. I've had a few people put a couple of comments in some of the other videos around the Flymo 1200R, specifically with regards to strimming. So as I've mentioned, if you get a robot lawnmower, it takes care of the majority of the day-to-day mowing of your lawn. But obviously it has no ability to cut in the corners. There's no side blades or anything for obviously safety reasons. So you still need to take care of strimming the boundaries basically, and strimming the edges. So I've personally purchased a battery powered strimmer that I just charge up and I can use it for a few weeks quite easily. But people have raised the question of, well, if you're strimming, don't you run the risk of strimming through the wire? So I thought I'd just kind of clarify why that is of really no concern. This should apply to everyone, but obviously this is my specific case that I'll be talking to. So first of all, when you install the boundary wire, you have two options. One, to bury the cable. Obviously if you've buried the cable, then you've eliminated any risk of anything cutting it, right? So whether that be the strimmer or the mower itself, if it gets caught and travels past the boundary wire, sometimes it does that occasionally, it can chop up the cable. So if you've buried it, that's never going to happen. I never buried mine, however, just through natural soil movements, it's pretty much buried itself. So I'll see if I can find a piece that is still visible, but then show you how it's kind of started to bury. And if you remember, when you're laying out the boundary wire, it's like a good 6 inches, I think it is, from the boundary to where the wire is anyway. So the area that you're strimming in is pretty much the other side of the boundary wire, so you're not going to have a problem with it anyway. So I'll see if I can find a bit of the cable sticking out, just to kind of clarify where it is. But really also you're going to see that you can hardly see it at all, just to kind of help understand a bit further why there's really limited chance of you hitting the wire. Now obviously when you first do the installation, if you're not burying it, the wires will be visible, and it takes a bit of time for it to bed down, but still, unless you're kind of not paying attention, there really should be no risk of you catching it with the strimmer. Okay, so we see here, this is where obviously there's some patchy grass. You can see the cable here, but as you look along, you can't really see kind of where it goes. And the same over here, so the cable is probably coming out round about here somewhere along the decking. Apart from the dead grass, you can see there's just no cable for you to see. So obviously when you're strimming, and so if you use here, as we move along a little bit, if you use here as an example, and you'll be strimming along here, the cable is around here somewhere, right? So a long way, so you'd have to be incredibly careless to end up in a situation where you've accidentally strummed through the boundary wire. If you do that, it's not the end of the world. In your pack you have some of those greased waterproof wireless connectors, wire connectors, sorry. So you just recrimp it basically, so get an extra bit of extra cable. You should have some surplus left, recrimp it back in, completes your boundary wire, everything's up and running again. So nothing to worry about. Hopefully this video clarified it if you had some questions about how the strimming piece worked. But trust me, if you're thinking about buying one of these, you don't have to worry about the strimmer cutting it. There's more chance of, when the mower runs over the cable, if it runs over a little bit too much and the blades cut it. So we're just kind of trying to see if I can show you here. So as the mower now is going to get towards the end of the garden, you'll see what I mean in terms of where it's hitting and bumping and catching back. So again, the cable is about here, and so sometimes it can roll over and catch a little bit. I had that problem a couple of times when it was first installed, but like I said, now the cable's pretty much buried itself. It's not a problem. So again, don't worry about strimming. Personally, when I was doing the install, I would recommend the same to you. There's no need to bury the wire. It will bury itself. So hopefully that helps clarify. Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.